Hey guys and girls, and welcome back as always to another part of Planet Coaster 2 building the Testlands. Yeah, in the last episode we explained or went through the way I like to do my rock work, as well as building this funky little lighthouse looking tower right here. And we already getting started to make it look just a little bit better, a little bit more fitting to the general theme. So make it look more sci-fi instead of like a lighthouse with like a crazy hat on top, let's call it that. So I keep adding sci-fi pieces for the sci-fi's sake, and it already makes like a big difference, makes it look more fitting into the general scene. One question, or a bundle of questions, I wanted to ask all of you viewers is please provide me some feedback. I'm pretty new to this whole YouTube thingy, and please let me know like things if my commentary is too boring, or is my building style too slow, is the music not your type. I mean, that's always like up to you, but yeah, just feedback like that. Don't worry about saying something wrong. I'm happy to see all of you providing like constructive feedback if I can do anything better, because I noticed we're not really accomplishing much on the surface, as it seems, from episode to episode. But behind that is always at least a 1 hour long building session, and I mean, the video editing progress is not like crazy. It's done in like an hour max, and then I give my commentary over that, so the workload is pretty okay. So I'm open up for new ideas. Please hit me with those, and that's enough on that topic, and let's get back to the Testlands. I really thought now it was time to work on more like infrastructure type of things. So I included a little pathway going back there so the guests can see the build from all sides. So we don't build the backside of it, don't build it for nothing, I'd say. And I just noticed I was stuck building blueprints, or just blueprints in the past. For anyone not knowing, blueprints are not park files. They're like little builds you can do, where you can include 8K pieces max and upload them as a file to download for anyone. So it's not a park file, it's just a blueprint file. And my last 5 or 6 or even 7 creations were blueprints only. So yeah, at this point I noticed, hey, this is a park file, and one thing you can't include in blueprints is terrain work and those terrain brushes. So instead of putting like thousands and thousands of rocks like we did last episode, okay, I mean, these are quite okay numbers we put there, but yeah, it would cost me a way lot more to put them under this little path. So I elevated the terrain just a little bit to give it a little bit more elevation, to make it, the build itself, more interesting, because no one's gonna wanna see like a completely flat park. I mean, theme parks in real life are not completely flat, because there's always like a little hill or stuff like that you have to build around. And with higher elevations, which I plan to do as well for the Testlands, you always have like a great sightseeing point where you get like a beautiful overlook of the general park itself if you look from a higher altitude. So yeah, that's another secret tip from my side. Always play with elevation to make things more interesting. And I think I really need to put in a quote, make things interesting counter. Yeah, sorry for that. Next up, we finally working on the flat ride itself again, because that's like the centerpiece we're designing around. I put a lazy but good looking roof on there with I guess these were 8 pieces max, and since I noticed there were like set fighting on the bottom where like one texture overlays the others, I had to sneakily hide them and just copied the ceiling, turned it around 100 degrees and put it under there again. So yeah, that solves that. After that I grabbed those little rings of resort lights again, moved them up and recolored them to a darkish brown color to match the general theme or the color scheme itself, and just create like these future looking hoops on there. I don't want to fully enclose the flat ride because it works as like a viewpoint itself with all the mechanic works, all the movement, and from now on I always leave it in test mode, because I noticed once it's moving it's kinda colliding with a bit of theming I did there. So I don't do heavy realistic stuff, but I don't wanna build a flat ride where you're hitting your head on some scenery piece while riding it. Doesn't sound healthy at all. Yeah, nothing special to see here, just me sprinkling in a few lights. Of course, these are the modern spotlight one again, because they provide like the biggest amount of light and reflections I noticed, and I still deeply miss the lights from Planet Coaster 1 that highlight a broader area, because you have to place these very tedious in Planet Coaster 2 to create like lit up area. And I had builds where I had like the triple amount of light sources I had in, or I would have had in Planet Coaster 1. So the lighting engine itself is super awesome, but the light sources we get, like not the natural ones, but like the, what's the word for that? Like the not natural ones. I think I'll make a note here, which you see here. That's the word my brain was searching for. Thanks for that from post-production. So yeah, that's like a major difference from Planet Coaster 1 as well. You may not know or see the first time you open the game. Here I noticed, depending on the direction you're coming from as a guest, this exit path looks like the main queue. I think it's caused because it's like way more decorated, because we didn't even start like the entry queue. So I put a little yeah, 2 little pillars there, connected them, and I used them to create just a exit only sign. And sorry, I was just a bit distracted because you see a few things flying in the background. These are attaching tries to the flat ride, which I still have to delete. And yeah, don't worry about that, it got fixed in the next episode. Yeah, so here's the promised exit only sign. I take a basic in-game one, and of course the typical sci-fi font for it. And of course I put 2 little like guardians in front of there, so they keep the visitors and check the guests, so they don't get confused and enter and exit. Because a lot of, or not a lot, but I know a few YouTubers, and I have one special one inside my head right now, which is known to enter rides through the exit only queue or pathway. Yeah, and by that we're actually coming through an end, and I have prepared a non-speed up version of the progress so far. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like much, but still was a ton of work so far, was a lot of fun building it so far, and I hope you enjoy it as I do. And same with that, thank you all for watching, take care, and see you soon. Bye bye.